Wow, it's incredible, isn't it? The sheer speed of everything happening in AI right
It
now.
really
I
is.
mean, you blink and there's a dozen new breakthroughs.
Yeah,
You almost get a little dizzy trying to keep up with it all.
you do, you do.
So, that's exactly what we're here for with this deep dive.
Hmm.
We're going to cut through the noise and focus on what's actually important, the trends and insights that make a real difference, especially if you're in business.
Absolutely. Think of this like getting a clear, concise briefing on the most significant things happening in AI right now. We're not going to get bogged down in every tiny update, just the stuff that matters most.
Yeah.
Really, we want to give you that crucial understanding of what's going on and what it could mean for you.
And for today's deep dive, we're digging into the March 31st issue of the AI Trends and Insights for Business newsletter. It's a phenomenal resource, really.
Oh, it is.
It always is. Okay, so we're going to break down the key updates on all the big players in AI models. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Copilot, the ones everyone's talking about. We'll also explore this fascinating rise of AI agents.
Yeah.
Look at how AI is making its way into everything from social media to, believe it or not, ordering food at the drive-thru. Oh, and there's a revolution going on in video creation.
Oh, yeah.
We'll touch on that too. Plus, we found this really cool AI application we want to share. Very useful.
It is.
So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but how does all this crazy AI stuff actually affect me, my business, my work, or even just like trying to wrap your head around where technology is headed?
Yeah.
Well, you're in the right place.
This newsletter is amazing, I'll tell you. It brings everything together. The big picture analysis, real-world examples, practical tools. It's got it all.
So much good stuff. All right, let's jump right in. Let's start with the AI models themselves. They're the foundation of everything that's happening,
Right,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
And the newsletter highlights some really interesting upgrades. First up, ChatGPT has gotten a huge boost in its image capabilities, all thanks to GPT-4o being integrated.
That's a big one.
For a while there, image generation with ChatGPT felt kind of tacked on, didn't it? Almost separate.
Yeah, like an afterthought.
But now it's baked right in, and that's a huge step.
It is a big step. I mean, what this means is that now ChatGPT can actually create and modify images directly right there in the same interface. And the real power of that is the level of control it gives you. You can generate visuals that are exactly what you need.
Right, because before you might get something close, but not perfect. But with this native creation and modification, the potential for accuracy, detail, it just seems so much higher.
It is. And you know what else? It can edit existing images too. That's incredibly useful, especially when you need to quickly refine a visual.
Yeah, totally. Let's say you're working on a marketing campaign and you need a very specific image. If you can generate and tweak that directly in ChatGPT, it saves so much time and hassle compared to, using separate tools and jumping back and forth between them.
Exactly. It streamlines the whole creative process.
Makes things so much smoother. All right, so moving on, Google's also making big moves. They've unveiled some pretty impressive upgrades with Gemini 2.5 Pro.
Yeah, this one's a powerhouse.
The newsletter mentions some pretty impressive benchmark scores, GPQA, AM 2025, and then there's this humanities last exam.
Yeah, that one sounds kind of scary.
It does. I mean, what are these scores actually telling us about what Gemini can do?
Okay, so it's not just about the numbers themselves, but what they imply, right? Like
Yeah.
the humanities last exam, yeah, a little dramatic, but it suggests that this model can handle some seriously complex logical analysis and problem solving,
Right.
the kind of stuff you'd need for really intricate business scenarios.
Yeah.
It's going beyond just basic data crunching. We're talking about generating real strategic insights, and that's huge.
Yeah, that's the big leap, isn't it?
It is. And Gemini 2.5 Pro is also multimodal. That means it can work with all sorts of formats: text, images, audio, video, code. It's a seriously versatile tool.
Wow, that's impressive. And the context window, too, that's expanded dramatically, right?
Oh, yeah, big time. So the context window, think of it like the AI's short-term memory. It's how much information it can remember and process at once, and they've bumped it up to 1 million tokens, with plans to double that soon.
1 million. I mean, that's like giving it a super brain.
It is. So tokens, think of them like words or little bits of info the AI can handle. 1 million tokens means Gemini can understand and remember a massive document or a really long, detailed conversation without losing track of what's going on. That's huge for working with large data sets and having those nuanced back and forth discussions.
Makes sense. So for anyone who's dealing with tons of data researchers, analysts, software developers working on complex projects, Gemini 2.5 Pro sounds like a game changer.
It really does. And the improvements to its coding abilities are also worth noting. It's performing really well on the SWE Bench Verified benchmark, which is all about how well AI can handle automated software development tasks.
Wow. So where can people access this?
Right now, you can get to Gemini 2.5 Pro through Google AI Studio and Gemini Advanced, and they're planning to integrate it into their Vertex AI platform in the future.
Makes sense. Okay, so we talked about the impressive image generation upgrades for ChatGPT,
Yeah.
but there are more updates to ChatGPT itself, right? Not just the image stuff.
Yeah, the newsletter mentioned some further developments for both versions 4.0 and 4.5.
Okay.
So 4.0 is really focused on refining the voice assistant capabilities.
Oh, interesting.
They want those real-time conversations to feel way more natural and concise. So less like giving commands and more like a real flowing discussion.
Makes sense, like it's learning to be a better conversationalist.
Exactly.
What about 4.5?
So 4.5 is all about speed and efficiency. They're cutting down on that latency to make interactions smoother and quicker. And this is fascinating. They're calling it emotional intelligence upgrades.
Emotional intelligence. That's a curious one. I mean, how does an AI get better at understanding emotions? Is it just recognizing keywords or is it something deeper?
It's probably a combination of things, right? Like improved natural language understanding definitely helps the model pick up on those emotional undertones and the sentiment behind what people are saying. But it's also about the AI learning to tailor its responses in a way that shows empathy and understanding.
So even if the AI doesn't actually feel emotions, it can learn to respond in a way that makes us feel understood.
Yeah, precisely. And with 4.5, there are some really handy new tools too. You can upload files and images for analysis. And there's a collaborative Canvas tool, which sounds great for teams working together on visual projects or brainstorming sessions.
Yeah, very cool. Plus, there are more opportunities for businesses to integrate ChatGPT into their existing workflows and platforms, right?
Absolutely. And that's key, I think. The easier it is to integrate these AI tools and the more versatile they are in handling different tasks, the more value they bring.
No question about it. Okay, Google's got some pretty innovative stuff happening with Gemini Live as well.
Right, yeah.
The ability for the AI to basically see what's on your phone screen or through your camera.
Right, like it's got eyes.
It's wild. So this builds on those Project Astra demos we saw a while back. They were amazing.
They were.
And now Gemini Live is starting to roll out to some Google One AI Premium subscribers.
Yep. And it includes this cool screen recognition feature, which means the AI can actually analyze what's on your screen and answer questions about it.
That is cool. Imagine you're trying to figure out a complicated app and you can just show it to Gemini and get real-time help.
Or troubleshoot a tech issue on your phone.
Or quickly get info about something you're looking at online. Having AI that can actually see what you see could be huge.
Oh yeah, a real time saver.
And the other big thing with Gemini Live is the live video and camera feed interpretation.
Right.
I loved the example in the newsletter. You point your phone at like a piece of pottery and ask Gemini what paint color would look good, and it gives you feedback based on what it sees.
It's really amazing. It's blurring the lines between the digital and physical worlds in a really exciting way.
It really is. Okay, let's move on to Anthropic and their Claude model.
Yeah.
What's new with them?
So Claude's getting some really interesting enhancements, and they seem to be geared specifically towards professional users. They've introduced custom response styles.
Oh, interesting.
So now you can actually adjust the AI's tone and how it structures its output. It's all about fitting your specific needs and preferences.
Oh, I like that. Like if you want something more formal or more casual, you can tailor it.
Right, exactly. And perhaps even bigger news, especially for researchers and people who need to really back up their info, they've integrated web search capabilities with direct citations.
That is huge. Direct citations are crucial for trust and credibility, especially in fields like research, where you have to be able to show where your information is coming from.
Couldn't agree more. So now Claude can basically do its own research online and give you links to the sources it used. It makes it super valuable for things like market analysis or comparing products, where knowing the source of the information is essential.
Absolutely. And who's their target audience?
They're definitely going after professionals, researchers, analysts, sales teams, anyone who needs that deep, verifiable information.
Makes sense. And there's this interesting tidbit in the newsletter. It mentions that Anthropic's reportedly using Brave Search to power these web searches.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's in their subprocessor list and through a parameter called Brave Search Params. Shows how different AI companies are leveraging existing technologies, right? Not always building everything from scratch.
Exactly. Sometimes it's about smart partnerships and using what's already out there.
Agreed. Okay. Microsoft Copilot is making waves too, especially in the world of AI agents. What's new there?
Lots going on. They've introduced two new AI agents within Copilot, researcher and analyst. The researcher agent is designed for, well, research. It pulls in information from both your company's data and external sources to provide a comprehensive analysis.
Okay.
And the analyst agent is all about crunching numbers. It uses this cool thing called chain of thought reasoning to tackle complex analytical tasks. They both sound like incredibly powerful tools for serious deep dives.
So they're not just answering basic questions. They're proactively going out, gathering info, analyzing it, and presenting their findings. It's like having a research team at your fingertips.
Exactly. And it's a big step toward more autonomous AI, where it's not just reacting to your commands, but actually taking initiative and figuring things out on its own.
And what about Copilot Studio? Any updates there?
Yeah, they're adding support for autonomous agents in Copilot Studio. These agents can be triggered by real-time events, like getting a new email or changes in a database.
So they can respond to things as they happen.
Exactly. It opens up a lot of possibilities for automating workflows based on dynamic information. And there's also seamless integration with platforms like Salesforce and ServiceNow, which is huge for businesses.
Really streamlines things, makes it much easier to manage data and processes. It feels like we're moving beyond those simple chatbots we used to have and into a world where AI is truly integrated into our work.
We are. And that's exciting and a little daunting, all at the same time.
For sure. Okay, the newsletter also talks about the growing importance of AI in social media. It's almost a must-have for businesses now, right?
It is. It's not optional anymore. It's essential for any business that wants to connect with their audience, build their brand, and grow. With so much data flying around and trends changing so quickly, human teams just can't keep up on their own.
So how is AI actually helping businesses with all this?
There are now AI tools for practically every aspect of social media management. Content creation, audience analysis, targeted advertising, you name it. AI can help generate engaging posts, suggest the best times to post, analyze who your followers are and what they respond to. And of course, it's making targeted ads much more precise and effective.
So AI is taking care of the repetitive, time-consuming stuff, and it's giving human teams the freedom to focus on the bigger picture building community and real engagement.
Precisely. And that's where the real magic happens.
Agreed. Okay, now for something a little different but equally fascinating AI in the food service industry. The newsletter highlights a big move by Yum Brands, the company behind Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut.
Yeah, this one caught my eye too.
They're partnering with NVIDIA to bring AI-powered voice agents to their drive-thrus.
Yep, and not just a few locations. They're planning to roll this out to 500 Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut restaurants by mid-2025. It's a big shift in how we might be ordering fast food in the near future.
500 locations, that's a huge commitment. So what can these AI systems do? What makes them better than a human taking your order?
They're designed to adapt to natural speech, so you don't have to talk like a robot. You can just speak normally.
Oh, that's nice.
And they can understand complex menus and even remember your past orders. It's all about making the ordering process faster, more accurate, and more personalized.
So no more repeating yourself over and over or trying to make sure you're understood through the speaker.
Hopefully not. The AI should be much better at figuring out what you want, even if you don't say it perfectly.
It's the dream, right? And what about beyond taking orders?
Yeah. Brands is also using computer vision for things like managing labor and optimizing drive-through efficiency. And they're going to use AI-driven analytics to help restaurant managers make better decisions based on data from their top-performing locations. They're putting all of this into their Byte by Yum SaaS platform.
That's fascinating. It's not just behind-the-scenes stuff anymore. It's changing how we interact with businesses on a daily basis.
Absolutely. It's AI in action right in front of us.
Now, the newsletter also talks about a study that OpenAI and MIT Media Lab did on ChatGPT's impact on emotional well-being. That's a really important area to think about as these tools become more common.
I agree. As these chatbots become part of our daily lives, we need to understand how they might affect us emotionally and socially.
Right.
So this study had two parts. One looked at how people were actually using ChatGPT out in the real world, and the other was a controlled study to look at specific effects.
Makes sense. And what did they find? Are people forming emotional bonds with these AI systems?
You know, what's interesting is that the main finding was that strong emotional engagement is actually quite rare.
Yeah.
Even among people who use ChatGPT a lot, most of them don't report feeling a deep connection to it.
So even though these tools are incredibly useful, most people are still treating them as tools, not as friends or confidants.
It seems that way. It's largely a transactional relationship, not an emotional one for most people.
That's a good reminder as the technology gets better at sounding and acting more human.
Definitely something to keep in mind.
Okay, the newsletter also highlights what it calls an AI-powered video revolution. That sounds pretty dramatic.
It is. Things are changing so fast in video creation. AI is making a huge impact at every stage, from automating editing to actually generating whole video sequences from simple text prompts.
They even predict that AI-generated video could cut production costs in half by the end of 2025. That's incredible.
It is a huge number, and we're already seeing the revolution unfold. The newsletter mentions OpenAI's Sora and Runway ML. These tools can create some really realistic and imaginative video clips based on just text descriptions.
It's amazing what's possible now.
And there's also a lot of new automated video editing software popping up. These tools can cut, enhance, and optimize raw footage really quickly. And AI-powered analytics can even predict how well a video will perform before you even publish it, which is huge for creators.
Yeah, imagine knowing ahead of time what's going to resonate with your audience.
It's like having a crystal ball. And platforms like Flux AI are emerging as great resources for anyone who wants to get involved in this new creative space.
So for businesses, AI is making video creation much easier and faster, which is a huge advantage.
Absolutely. It's lowering the barriers to entry, speeding up production, and even helping businesses create more effective videos. It's a win-win.
Okay, let's dive a little deeper into those AI agents we talked about earlier. The newsletter seems really excited about their potential.
Rightfully.
What exactly are they and why are they so important?
So AI agents are a big step beyond basic automation. Think of them as highly advanced autonomous systems that use machine learning, natural language processing, and some serious decision-making abilities to perform tasks. They can even work together with humans and other AI systems.
So they're not just following a set of pre-programmed instructions. They can learn, adapt, and make decisions on their own.
Exactly. And they can be designed for very specific tasks like scheduling meetings, or they can be more general purpose, able to handle a wider range of things across different areas of a business.
Well, there's a lot of flexibility in how they can be used.
Absolutely. And the newsletter makes a big point about how AI agents are going to revolutionize business operations. They're going to automate those tedious, repetitive tasks, provide deeper insights for better decision-making, and even help businesses find new opportunities for growth.
It's like having a superpowered assistant who's always working for you, even when you're not.
It really is. And get this, the market for AI agents is projected to be worth over $133 billion by 2030. That tells you how big this is going to be.
It's going to be massive, and their capabilities are advancing at an incredible pace.
They are. The newsletter cites a study that found the length and complexity of tasks AI models can complete reliably are doubling every 7 months.
Every 7 months. That's mind-blowing.
I know, right? If that trend continues, we could be seeing AI agents managing some pretty complex and lengthy projects with a lot of autonomy very soon.
That's a huge change. Okay, the newsletter also highlights a specific AI agent called Manus AI. They call it a first fully autonomous AI agent.
Yeah, this one's interesting.
What makes it stand out?
Manus was developed by a startup in China, and they're saying it's performing at the top level on some really tough benchmarks like GAIA, which tests how well AI can solve complex real-world problems that require multi-step reasoning and using knowledge from different sources.
Sounds like a real test.
It is.
Yeah.
And unlike a lot of the AI assistants out there that still need a lot of input and guidance from us, Manus is designed to handle complex tasks on its own.
Wow, so it's like having a digital employee who can manage whole projects independently.
It's getting close to that, yeah. So what kind of things can Manus do?
Oh, yes, a lot.
A lot, yeah. The newsletter mentions things like screening job applications, doing property research, automating web tasks, financial analysis, creating educational courses, comparing legal documents, analyzing sales data, even travel planning. It's a pretty impressive range.
That's incredible. Are any other companies moving in this direction of creating more autonomous agents?
Definitely. The newsletter talks about Zoom adding new agentic AI skills to their AI companion. So now AI companion can do things on its own and help with decision-making across Zoom meetings, team chat, and docs.
Very cool. It's like AI is becoming more and more integrated into all the tools we use.
Exactly. And then there's Zapier, which, is a popular automation platform. They just launched something called MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol.
Okay.
This is a big deal because it lets AI assistants talk to and interact with over 8,000 different apps without needing custom integrations for each one.
So it's like opening up a whole world of possibilities for these AI assistants.
It is. They can do so much more now across all sorts of different software. So instead of just asking an AI to schedule a meeting, it can handle everything from checking everyone's availability to sending invitations and putting it on everyone's calendars.
That's impressive. It's automating the whole process from start to finish.
Exactly. And the big theme here is that we're moving towards a much more sophisticated collaboration between humans and AI. AI agents aren't about replacing humans entirely. They're about taking over the more routine, time-consuming tasks so that we can focus on higher-level thinking, creativity, and innovation.
It's freeing up our time and energy for the things that humans are really good at.
Exactly. And the more we can embed these AI capabilities into the tools we already use, the easier it will be for everyone to adopt them and benefit from them.
It's about making AI accessible and practical for everyone. Okay, the newsletter also talks about leveraging generative AI for data in new and innovative ways. How is that changing things for businesses?
It's exciting, really. Generative AI isn't just about creating text and images anymore. It's also transforming how businesses handle data and extract insights from it. For example, in marketing, generative AI can analyze all that customer data to create super personalized content, which makes marketing more effective.
More targeted, more engaging.
Exactly. And in supply chain management, it can analyze historical data and other factors to predict demand, identify potential problems, and suggest ways to improve efficiency and cut costs.
So it's about taking all the data that businesses already have and using AI to really unlock its potential. Not just understand it, but act on it in smarter ways.
Exactly. It's about making data actionable and turning it into a real competitive advantage.
Now, every issue of the newsletter features an AI app spotlight. What caught their eye this time?
They're highlighting Aragon AI, which is a really cool AI-powered headshot generator. It takes those regular photos you have on your phone and turns them into professional quality headshots in about 30 minutes.
That's super useful. I mean, everyone needs a good headshot these days, especially online.
Everyone. So you upload about 14 photos of yourself, and Aragon's AI analyzes your facial features from different angles and lighting conditions. Then, it uses that info to create these enhanced professional-looking headshots. The newsletter emphasizes how important a good profile picture is, especially on LinkedIn, and they also mention that Aragon takes security seriously. They use encryption and don't sell your data.
That's good to know. People are always concerned about privacy with AI.
Definitely. And a professional headshot can make a big difference in how you're perceived online. It's a valuable tool for anyone who wants to put their best foot forward.
Agreed. Okay. Last but not least, the newsletter mentions the Learning Academy AI.
Yeah, for anyone who wants to take their AI knowledge to the next level.
So what's that all about?
They're encouraging people to join their members program in 2025 if they want to boost their AI skills. The program includes weekly live training online, interviews with AI experts, and a supportive community of learners. It's all about giving people the practical skills they need to work with AI and use it to grow their businesses.
Sounds like a great resource. So if you're not just interested in understanding AI, but actually want to learn how to use it, the Learning Academy AI is worth checking out. They have a website, www.learningacademy.ai, and a phone number, 737-381-2390.
Yeah, and they offer some fantastic resources and training.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, haven't we?
We have. It's incredible how much is happening in AI right now.
It's changing so fast, and it's impacting everything.
It really is. We've only just scratched the surface of all the information and insights in this one issue of the newsletter. We encourage you to dive deeper into the topics that resonate with you.
And honestly, one of the best ways to stay on top of all this is to subscribe to the AI Trends and Insights for Business newsletter itself.
It's such a valuable resource, and it's free.
Yeah, definitely check it out. You can usually find a link in the show notes for this deep dive.
And don't forget to join the Facebook group. It's a great community for discussing all things AI, sharing insights, and connecting with other professionals.
Lots of great conversations happening there. So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a final thought to ponder. With AI becoming more and more advanced and the focus shifting towards collaboration between humans and AI, what skills or knowledge do you think will be most valuable in the years to come? What do we need to learn to thrive in this rapidly evolving world? It's something we're thinking about as we continue to learn and adapt alongside AI. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.